Here are the 4 triangles, and they all match the angle of the roof very nicely. I have 4, so I'm going to have 2 close to the ends and then 2 spaced in the middle. That should give plenty of support to the roof. Okay, I've measured the thickness of this wall and inner brace, and that's 2.210. So our 210 plus our 171 is 381. Would be theoretically the distance from the outside edge of the overhang to the very inner edge of this wall. So I'm going to add a little extra fudge factor here so that it doesn't become such a tight fit that I can't get it into the building. All right, our wall thickness is 0.210. Our 15-inch overhang is 0.171. That brings us to 381. And I'm going to round that up to 385. Distance that the first brace is in from the edge of the roof. Okay, I'm going to mark this roof section at 385. It will be mounted this manner with the point just at the inside edge of the roof. All right, apply some glue. I'm going to get this positioned. So do the same on this side. I will test fit this, and it just fits in here. It's a snug fit, so adding the extra 4 thousandths was at least the minimum. I could have maybe even gone out to another 4 thousandths, but it fits pretty well, and the roof won't fall off. Okay, I've measured the distance between these two, measured the thickness of the remaining 2 triangles. The total distance is 182.7. The 2 triangles are 192. That gives me a distance of 1.680. I've divided that by 3 to give me 0.560, and that should be the distance that each one of these needs to be over here to equally space them. So let's get some marks on here. Okay, let's get this mark up here. Same lines. Okay, let's test the fit on this and see what we have. That side's springing up a little bit. And so as this corner springs up a little bit, this one, yeah, also. Okay, I'm going to be using the scale 2x6 for my trim boards. This triangle was cut from our work on creating the interior supports for the roof. They also provide a cutting template for the angle that needs to be established at the peak. Now the other edge shows that this one should be cut at this angle like that. The drawing shows that the board that runs along this edge of the roof is about 6 inches back from the end boards. So I put a dot here to represent that 6 inches, and I'm going to measure this. There, look it down. I have this tip positioned here, and I'm making a mark there. I'm then going to take my triangular piece, set it on that mark, then hold the blade like this, and then cut. And now we have our trim board created. Okay, we're going to put our first trim board on. Now I'm going to take it and position it very close to the edge. Not exactly on the edge. I'm setting it back just a slight amount from the edge of the roof. To reinforce this, I'm going to add just a few little drops of CA along the back side of that board. Okay, I'll just use some CA on this board. Okay, I'll do this on the other side. Alright, I have to cut this board a little shorter. If I get it all the way in here, it's almost at the end of the roof here, and it should be back about like it is on this side. The other boards are all pretty good on this side. So I had to make an adjustment and trim this back a little bit. A little more. Okay, that's a lot better. I have an addition to the bill of materials. It's a scale 1x8. I'm going to use it as a fascia. Okay, we'll tack the fascia on with just a little touch of CA on the end of this rafter. And then we'll do the same on this piece. Now I'm going to position my ruler in here, and then we'll run some glue right along this edge. I'm pressing this up toward that ruler. Now, that CA should tack it on fairly effectively. And next, I'm going to put a bead of canopy cement along the back edge to reinforce it. Now I'm going to use a little water on this rag and just lightly wipe along that inner edge to try to clean up a little bit of the glue. Now, as a final touch, I'm going to sand the bottom edge of the fascia to bring it up to the same thickness as the end trim boards. Now I'm using a pink eraser to remove any of my pencil marks that I have on the sides prior to our painting and staining process.